Good evening, everybody, and welcome here to Darlington Raceway as we get ready for the Ruxor 200 race number 5 of the NR2003 Diva Busch Series. Getting ready for 56 laps of racing here this evening at Darlington Raceway. If our Truck Series race was any indication last night, which we only had one caution coming off of turn number 4, we're going to be interested to see how these Diva Busch Series drivers are going to handle 56 laps under the lights. Annie James starts on the pole position for this evening's race. Annie James in the number 60. It is her first career pole in the Diva Busch Series. She is 16th in the point standings. Alexandria Sarns is alongside. She is 25th in the point standings, so not too bad. Darlene Ward in row number 2. Darlene Ward. Let's see where Darlene Ward is in points. At 73 teams, she dropped 3 spots to 13th in the point standings. And Carolina Bradley, alongside of her, Carolina comes into this race 19th in the points after a tough race last week at, what was our last race? It was Atlanta Motor Speedway. And of course, last week's race was caution-free. I highly doubt we're going to have a caution-free race here tonight at Darlington. Let's go over your point standings presented by Golden Corral. Balam Kim is your points leader by 39 points over Lila Bakai, who won last week's race at Atlanta. Chao Ding is 57 back, third in the standings. Fourth in the standings, 59 back is Diva girl Caitlin Roy. April Winters is tied with her in fifth because she has the lowest average finish than Caitlin Roy. Sally Ford, former winner this season, is 6th, 72 back. 90 back is Natalie Fisher in 7th. Eva Mata is 99 points back in 8th. Selena Diaz is 9th in the standings, 106 back. And Becky Sampson is 128 points back in the 10th position. Track position played a big part in last night's Diva Truck Series race. Will that come into play here for the Diva Busch drivers? We hope so. We also had only one caution in our Diva Truck race last night, as I said, which happened coming off of turn number 4. How many cautions will we see here tonight for the Diva Busch Series drivers? We're going to find that out in 56 laps time. 42 Diva Busch Series drivers ready to go. All right, girls, let's tame the too tough to tame. The Ruxor 200 for the Diva Busch Series is green. See what happened there? The 18 was trying to get in front of the 73, and that didn't work. I really don't think we're going to see a lot of pit stops in tonight's race because, well, they can make it 56 laps. Tomorrow's Diva Cup race, they might be thinking about pitting because it'll be a little bit longer. It'll be 74 laps around Darlington, and fuel mileage could come into play just to make things a little bit more interesting. Of course, you will see that race tomorrow night here at Darlington as we cap up the Darlington race weekend. Sorry about the chair being moved around. I was trying to find something. Elena Lydia currently in the 3rd position, and Chao Ding currently in 4th as we're in the early stages of tonight's race. And there's where the 73 just got up into the wall. We saw that. That caused our only caution in the Diva Truck race last night. I won't be surprised if that will be a factor here tonight here in the Diva Busch Series. Annie James's average finish, her average finish is 18th. Her average start has been 21.5. She probably changed that after today. And here comes Elena Lydia in the 81 machine, the Junior Motorsports entry. That is the Junior Motorsports program here in the Diva Busch series. Lydia comes in this race 36th in the point standings. Despite 2 poles, she has had an average finish of 27.5 rather. So she's mired way down through the points table. Chow Dang, Darlene Warden, the 73. There's Sally Ford, our former winner this season. Jayla Durazin, who ran in last night's Diva Truck Series race. She learned a lot last night in the Diva Truck race. Same with Carolina Bradley. And like I said, track position played a factor because you look at Annie James, she went from leading the race to about to fall out of the top 10 in the running order. Because remember, the inside lane is the place you want to be. And 3 wide is never a good idea here at Darlington. And we're being told the 99 did not take the start. And the 99 is out of the race. That's Megan Knight. Uh-oh, Megan Knight. Apparently, mechanical problems has taken her out of the race. And she came in this race 15th in the point standing. So that's a driver who was running well in points. And this is not the result she was hoping for tonight. And she's going to take a massive hit in the points heading into next week's race at Bristol. Ooh, Eva Mata in the 7 just got up in the wall there off of turn number 4. As Chow Dang going to take the lead from Elena Lydia. You can probably tell the rookie stripes on the 81 because she is a rookie in the field. Sally Ford trying to get her second win of the season and her Diva career. Checking back here at the rear of the field, Aaron Walsh is back here at the rear of the field. Same with Alyssa Albon. And Selena Diaz, who I talked about, came in this race in the top 10 of the points. This is not where she wants to be. Tatiana Guerra, Carolina Bradley back here at the rear of the field. Bradley had a great race last night in the Truck Series race. Last night, you get the point. It's the same thing. Tatiana Guerra's back here. Yvonne Dooney is also back here at the rear. She also ran the truck race last night. Elizabeth Gardner losing a lot of ground. There's Isabel Gordon, Olga Scott, another one of those drivers who ran in the truck race last night. Natalie Fisher's back here at the rear of the field. Shanti Darwish and Caleb Ambrosia, also a couple of drivers who ran in the truck race last night. Not having good runs, and Annie James fell all the way to 19th after starting on the pole here tonight, as Sally Ford has just taken the lead from Chow Dang. She's got Jayla Durazin, I believe she is a former winner this season. Let me see, Jayla Durazin. Nope, she's a former winner from the Truck Series. I'm sorry. Here's a gal that really needs a good run. That would be Sydney Ball in the 79, the Texas colors. She's currently dead last in the point standings. So this is a well-needed run for Sydney. We went to like lap 30 or 31 for our first caution of last night's Truck Series race. I have a good feeling we're going the same route. But the thing is, is that this series and the Truck Series didn't have pit stops. In tomorrow night's Diva Cup Series race, that's going to change because we're going to have 74 laps, which is going to be an extra 18 laps than what we had for the Trucks and Busch Series races, the Diva Trucks and Diva Busch Series races, I should say. Jayla Durazin currently in second. Just a little disclaimer, if you hear that little bloop that's coming up, that's coming from Discord because I just downloaded, or should I say re-downloaded Discord back on my laptop as of this recording. Because if you didn't see my little update video, which I did a few months ago, then there you go. As Askarov got into the wall and lost some spots to her teammate Sarns and also to Angela Thornburg, and now she's under pressure by Charlotte Lopez for the 9th position. Shyla Askarov comes into this race 17th on the point standing, so she's had a quiet start to the season. Alexandria Sarns, on the other hand, has been working her way through the points table to 25th in the standings, so Sarns is doing a very good job for her team owner, Mr. Frank. Jayla Durazin looking for her first career Diva Busch Series win. She is a former winner in the Truck Series. Durazin fell out of the top 10 to 20th in points after a poor result last week at Atlanta. There's April Winters in the 87. Looking to bounce back after losing the points lead last week at Atlanta after a very poor showing. Let's see where the gal that came in this race as our points leader, that would be the 6 of Balam Kim. Where in the world she's at is Lydia's going to get the lead, but going to lose it to April Winters as Lydia just slapped the wall there. She just got herself a Darlington stripe. Balam Kim is currently in 22nd. She was your points leader coming into this race. The gal, yeah, and I'm going to have to start getting used to saying the word gal, not guy, because if I say guy, then all the girls will kill me, so. The gal that came in this race second in points trying to run down Balam Kim is running in 27th. That's Leela Vakai. She was second in points, so that's a total of 5 spots. Let's see where the gal that came in this race, and let's see, Chow Dang is in the top 10, so right now Chow Dang is ahead of both Balam Kim and Leela Vakai to take the points lead heading into next week's race at Bristol, which all 3 series will be there. Of course, we're going to be using the Bristol 2003 version and not the Papyrus version of Bristol. Even though the Diva Truck Series will be using the Papyrus version of Bristol, as Lydia just slapped the wall and lose a spot to Charlotte Lopez. Because the Bristol Papyrus version, as April Winters got in the wall, lose the lead to Angela Thornburg. The Bristol Papyrus version cannot hold a 42-car field, and it would result in 1 car failing to qualify, so I had to download the Bristol 2003 version to make sure that it can hold a 42-car field. I know it won't affect the Diva Truck Series drivers because they can run no matter what Papyrus version of Bristol is, but either way, we're still going to Bristol for all 3 series, just to make it fair for everyone. Angela Thornburg, former driver in the AutoZone Amateur Series from 2023. Sydney Ball, looking to try to get some momentum going. Sydney Ball's average finish has been 36.5. No wonder why she's dead last in points here in the Diva Busch Series. Angela Thornburg came into this race. Let's see where Thornburg is as she just got the wall off of turn number 2 there. Sydney Ball will take the lead. Thornburg came in this race 22nd in points. So a couple of drivers who are kind of struggling in the points table. This is good runs for them as we're halfway through the Roxor 200, the ROXOR. That's what it means. Sydney Ball gets 5 points for leading lap. Here comes Thornburg. Ooh, Chow Ding and Sydney Ball just hit the wall of a 2 there. Just getting themselves a Darlington stripe. There's Sally Ford trying to go underneath Sydney Ball. Both of the JGR entries are inside the top 5 right there. Thornburg's going to scrape the wall. Barnes is going to take the lead. Sydney Ball going to go to second. All these drivers are all spread out. It's unlike our Truck Series race last night where most of the field were all together. And of course, right around this time last night, we had a caution in the Truck Series. Alexandria Sarnes. I don't know what country she's from. I'm going to have to ask Frank in a little bit. Or actually, I'll ask Frank tomorrow when I get the chance. Or by the time you're watching this video, I'll have the answer. I don't know what country Sarnes is from. I see some skid marks off of turn number 2, but it looks like we didn't have a yellow as Alexandria just hit the wall. Sydney Ball going to go to the lead. Oh, it must have been Becky Sampson. Look at the right side of that 27 machine. I wonder if she's the reason for those skid marks off of turn number 2. Whatever the case, it did not bring out a caution. Looks like she saved the car, but she lost a lot of time as a result. So 41 of the 42 cars are still in the race, and Megan Knight is the only driver out of the race, which we aren't too sure what was wrong with the Aaron's Dream machine. And like I said, she came as race 15th on the points. So a couple of drivers who were running well in points, this is not good for them. And just on cue, the caution is out for the first time tonight. We went a little bit longer than our Truck Series race here last night, and that's probably the last thing Sydney Ball wanted to see was the dreadful yellow flag, because all of these ladies right behind her is going to reel her in. And looks like we'll get the caution with nearly 20 laps of racing to go. Let's see what brought out the caution, as I'm finding no luck. Not sure what the caution is out. But either way, it is out with right near 20 laps to go. Sorry about that. I was about to have I need to take a drink right there. Caution's out for the first time today. First, let's address the skid marks off at turn number 2 and find out why the 27 was off the pace. Then we'll take a look and see what brought out the caution for the first time tonight, as we're nearing the end of this Diva Busch Series race here at Darlington. All right, so here's what didn't bring out the caution. Elena Lydia was looking underneath Jayla Durazin, And yeah, looked like on worn tires, the 81 got a bit tight. Looks like she bounces off of Nally Fisher, takes herself into 26 up in the wall, did some pretty significant damage to the 26 and the 81. So those skid marks did come from the Oreo Chevrolet. And the good news is she kept it going. The bad news is lost a lot of time. So that's what happened that didn't bring out the caution. Let's find out what did bring out the caution here at Darlington. Well, Lydia's night just went from bad to worse a lap later. She's in front of Yvonne Dooney. And remember when she had the damage to the car? Well, guess what? Kablamo! The engine let go on that 81 machine. And unfortunately, she missed the pit lane. So that's why Diva Busch Series officials didn't have a choice but to throw the caution as a result. And that's a tough break for Elena Lydia, who came into this race. As I look at the points here, Elena Lydia came into this race 36 in the points. It has not been a good start to her Diva Busch Series career, and unfortunately looks like her night is going to sadly come to an end. So that's why she was parked on the apron, because she missed the pit lane, and why Diva Busch officials had no choice but to throw the caution. So that's what brought out our first caution of the evening here at Darlington Raceway for the 81, leaking fluid all over the track, which is the first time we've had a caution for a mechanical failure on track. And that's a shame, as Elena Lydia is out of the car, and she is going to be heading, and she's already walking herself back to the garage area. So let's get to the restart here at Darlington. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing on lap number 40 of 56. That gives us a total of 17 laps of racing to go. Sydney Ball is currently the race leader. Angela Thornburg second. Alexandria Sarnes in third. Her teammate Shayla Askarov in fourth. Charlotte Lopez fifth. Sally Ford sixth. Ada Chua seventh. Caitlin Roy eighth. Joanna Berg ninth. And 10th, our pole sitter, Annie James. Emma Kaiser's had a quiet run in 11th. So Frank's got to be delighted too. All three of his girls. Driver out of the race after that first caution, Alexandria Sarnes. What says accident, but apparently whatever blew up on the 81 looks like either a valve train or a piston let go from that accident, and she is out of the race, and she will join Megan Knight, who had mechanical problems before we even took the green flag, as the two Chevrolets are back behind the wall and out of the race. Definitely a tough break for those two drivers out of the race. I mean, Megan Knight didn't even get to take the green flag, and now we have our first retiree out of the race that took the green flag. So there you go. Nobody a lap down. 40 of the 42 cars are on the lead lap. Green flag back in the air here at Darlington. And you know, something tells me tomorrow in the Diva Cup Series, we're going to have more than just one caution. Because, I mean, these Diva Busch and Truck Series drivers have had a combined 2 cautions between the 2 races so far this weekend. But I'm curious how many cautions we're going to have tomorrow night in the Diva Cup Series, because those are horsepower cars, as we'll bring you the Goodyear 400 under the lights here at Darlington Race. Probably be a 6:30 Central Time, 7:30 Eastern. That's something I have not told you guys about, is the start times, as Askarov got up into the wall there. Should get the points up, so that way I know who's running where in points. Sally Ford just slapped the wall pretty good. So did Sydney Ball. That's going to allow Angela Thornburg to take the race lead. As everybody's been getting their Darlington stripes so far this weekend. Let's see if Sarnes can chase down the Outdoor Channel Chevrolet of Angela Thornburg. As Sydney Ball just slapped the hell out of the wall of a 2. Charlotte Lopez and Joanna Berg up on the wall. Good runs for those 2 drivers so far tonight. And the caution's out for the second time tonight. So we've doubled the cautions than our Diva Truck Series race last night, as Thornburg will take the yellow flag for the second time this evening. Oh, Prue Granger's involved. Jayla Durazin, Azara Mirwez, Elizabeth Gardner, Becky Sampson involved. Looks like Matson might have got a piece of it. I don't know. And it looks like we had a wreck coming down the back straightaway heading into turn number 3. A lot of cars were involved in that one, as the caution is out for the second time tonight. As we're nearing 10 laps to go in this race, we'll jump back, look at a replay to see what in the world happened going into turn number 3 as we're nearing the end of this Ruxor 200 here at Darlington. Well, this is going to start with the 90 of Hazara Mirmouez, who was running 15th at the time of this crash. And she got hooked by Selena Diaz in the 52. And around with the Express Employment Professionals Dodge, she backed that car in the wall. Nowhere for Prue Granger to go, nowhere for Elizabeth Gardner to go. Boy, she nearly got Ada Chua, and the 59 goes upside down. And nowhere for Becky Sampson to go. Prue Granger was 11th in points. Elizabeth Gardner came into this race. Durazin was 20th in points. Gardner 26th in points. Becky Sampson was 10th in points coming into this race. And Prue Granger, as I said, was 11th in points. Did I already mention Elizabeth Gardner? 26 in points. And then Jayla Durazin, as I mentioned, came into this race 20th in the point standings. So a lot of drivers who came in running well in points, unfortunately, going to take some hits in the point standings. But that's what brought out our second caution of the day. Let's get back to the restart to find out who's going to win the Ruxor 200 here at Darlington. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing, as it will be 8 laps of racing to go here at the Darlington Raceway. No changes in the top 2, with Angela Thornburg leading and Alexandria Sarnes in second. We got some new players in the battle. Ada Chua, who comes into this race 41st in the points. Talk about a well-needed run from her. She's third. Charlotte Lopez in 4th. Sydney Ball 5th. Joanna Berg 6th. Andy James 7th. Autumn McDowell, who comes into this race 35th in the point standings. Good run for her in 8th. Darby King is 9th. And Darby King comes into this race 38th in points. So a number of drivers struggling in the points table up here at the front. And Sally Ford in 10th. And the honorable mention of Emma Kaiser is 11th. Because why not? More drivers out of the race after that incident. That would be Jayla Durazin's out of the race. Becky Sampson. Azara Mirmois, who was having a great run until that happened. Prue Granger. Elizabeth Gardner. Those 5 are out of the race. They join Elena Lydia and Megan Knight, who never even got to take the start all back behind the wall and in the garage area. I bet you if I'm Megan Knight, I feel embarrassed. Not only I didn't get to take the start, but I'm missing the fun in this race. That's probably what she's thinking right now. Hopefully her sister that's in tomorrow night's Diva Cup Series race will have better fate than her. As we're back to green. Now can we survive these last 8 laps without a yellow? Because 74 laps for the Diva Cup Series drivers, they will have to make at least one pit stop during the course of tomorrow night's race. And like I said, track position will definitely be a factor tomorrow night in the Diva Cup Series race before we pack up and head off to Bristol next week. Excuse me, I almost said Darlington. We're actually at Darlington, Boyles. Sarnes has got to hope that the 33 makes a mistake. And she better make her move soon, because next caution that comes out might end this race under the yellow flag if Sarnes doesn't get going right about now. And looks like she's trying to get underneath the 33, but like what we saw in the Truck Series race last night, track position was what won the race for a certain driver you saw in the Diva Truck Series last night at Darlington, excuse me. Oh, here comes Sarnes to the inside. Remember, the inside line is the place you want to be. As we are getting closer and closer to the end of this thing, as the 33 is trying to hold off the MB&A America Chevrolet, and looks like the 18 just can't get by the 33. What the 18 better not hope is the 22 dive bomb her, if you know what I mean. Up 33 in the wall. That's going to allow the 18 go by. Now can the 18 hold off the 22? Couple of rookies. Well, even though this series is in its first year, all 42 of these drivers are rookies. Well, Ada Chaw says, not so fast, Alexandri. I will take the lead from you. As the 18 just popped the wall off of turn number 2 there. Charlotte Lopez in second. Angela Thornburg is back to third. Sarnes fell from the lead to 6. As we're going to come to 2 laps of racing here at Darlington. Hope you guys are excited for tomorrow's Diva Cup Series race. Tomorrow night's Diva Cup Series race, I should say. As Thornburg just slammed the wall pretty hard and held up Sydney Ball there. Joanna Berg's going to get third out of that. That's still a good run for Joanna Berg, excuse me. But the white flag is out for Ada Chua, the driver from Singapore, looking for her first career win in the Diva Busch Series. I don't know who just hit the wall off of 2 there. Now, that was Thornburg, but it didn't matter. As off of turn number 4, Ada Chua is going to win the Ruxor 200 here tonight at Darlington Raceway. And that is her first career Diva Busch Series win of her career. And Chua came into this race 41st in the points. Talk about a driver who really needed a good run after tonight. As standings are indeed official. Charlotte Lopez got second. Great run for Charlotte, who came into this race. Charlotte Lopez, 29th in the points, so a well-needed run from her. Joanna Berg gets third. Joanna Berg comes into this race. Where was Joanna Berg in points? Joanna Berg, she was 32nd in points, so a well-needed run from her. Sydney Ball in fourth. So drivers who are 41st and 42nd in the points get top 5 runs. Well done, you ladies. I can tell you that for sure. Alexandria Sarnes, well, she had a chance to go for the win, but she'll end up with a 5th. That's still a good run. 25th in the points. She'll continue to move her way up through the points table as we leave this evening's event. Darby King will get 6th. Great run for Darby King after the last couple of weeks have been a little bit rocky until last week. 38th in the standing, so a number of drivers struggling in the points table. Well-needed runs for them. Natalie Fisher will get 7th. Good run for Natalie Fisher, who was top 10. She'll stay in the top 10 of the points with that result. Wanda McBride will get 8th. Great run for Wanda, who comes into this race 33rd in the points, so a nice first top 10 for her. Angela Thornburg, who was leading on that last restart, will have to settle for 9th. Still a good run for her. And Leela Bakai backing up her win last week at Atlanta with a 10th place result. Well done to the driver from Honolulu, Hawaii. And Bakai came into this race. If I can find her, I think she was in the top 10 in the points. Actually, she came this race 2nd in points. And where in the world did the 6 car finish as you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results? 35th. Ouch. Belong Kim. By the way, last car in the lead lap. As you look on down through the remainder of the finishing results, Askarov fell all the way to 30th. She was in the top 10 at one point in this race in the early going. Drivers that were out were Becky Sampson, Azar Mirbush, Jayla Drazin, Prue Granger, Elizabeth Garner, Elena Lydia, and Megan Knight, who never even took the start for this evening's race. So let me look at here. Where did Chow Dang finish? 28th. I can say Leela Bakai will no doubt take the points lead heading into next week's race at Bristol Motor Speedway. But that is going to do it from Darlington for the Diva Busch Series. Ada Chua with her first career Diva Busch Series win of her career. What will tomorrow night's Goodyear 400 be for the Diva Cup Series? We're going to have to find out the same time we do. But thank you all for joining me for tonight's race at Darlington for Diva Busch. If you enjoyed tonight's race, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCS Rate Crew today. We've shown your full finish results. I'll remember to show your points in the pre-race show heading into next week's race at Bristol Motor Speedway. But we still got to finish up our weekend here with the Diva Cup Series here at Darlington. Hope you will tune in for that. Until then, I've been DeVille signing off. Good night from Darlington Raceway as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of PCS Rate TV, the best in our racing since 2017.